Welcome back to Say No More Media. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Now let's get straight into today's video. The Colorado football team lost their home opener 27-20 versus the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And I ain't gonna lie, that man Haynes King was on one. Now, it was hyped up. We're all trying to see what season 3 was going to be about with Coach Prime. No Travis, no Shador. A lot of kids from the transfer portal, a brand new looking Big 12 Colorado football team. And I ain't gonna lie, first quarter, it looked like it was good. They came out, created 3 turnovers. But the problem is they were only able to get 7 points off of 3 turnovers in the first quarter. I don't care what level of football you're at. NFL, high school, college, if you can't capitalize off of 3 turnovers, you let the team know, like the Georgia Tech, we still in this game, and that's exactly what happened. Georgia Tech was able to come back from 7-0 and 3 turnovers in the first quarter to completely dominate Colorado on the run. And I got to go. Now, before I get into this full video breakdown, I got to break down the offensive numbers for Colorado because I have some concerns moving forward and some questionable play calling from Pat Shurmur. But Caden Salter was 17 of 28 for 159 yards, 57.6 yards QBR rating. Now, Michael Welsh ran the ball well. 11 carries, 64 yards. I feel like we got away from him. We should have gave him the ball a lot more. Now, my most concerns is Colorado receiving. Amarion Miller, 1 for 39. Decadion Taylor, 3 for 36. Hakeem Williams, 2 for 20. Zach Atkins, 2 for 18. Draylon Miller, 2 for 19. This ain't going to cut it, man. Defensively, Hughes, he stood out to me. 11 total tackles, and number 49 was really going crazy. Put pressure on the quarterback and getting a sack. DJ McKinney played well as far as that interception, but as far as our corners allowing the run game, not getting off their blocks, not shedding their blocks, that was a concern. But mostly, I'm just concerned with this receiving core, and I'm not going to lie, I'm coming out with a totally different offensive core next game and possibly a new quarterback. Now, back to the film breakdown. Right in the first quarter, Colorado was able to create turnovers. Number 37 was all over the field recovering fumbles. He had 2 recovered fumbles in the first quarter. But we were able to score on this drive. The Colorado offense looked good. Caden Salter looked mobile. They were running the ball very well with Michael Welsh. This is the play, our first score of the game. You see Caden Salter escape outside the pocket, put a dime on there for number 20 to track Hart. Taylor, he was a real focal point of our offense today. That speed, the JUCO transfer, DeKalon Taylor did his thing today. He's a very versatile running back out of the backfield. Looked good. He looked good throughout the whole game. So, big ups to number 20. And this is a good play from Caden Salter. One of the better plays he had of today. Let's put it like that. Able to find DeKalon Taylor for the first score of the game. Boulder's rocking. Everything's looking good. We're up 7-0. Right? Bet. You know what I mean? So, this looked good, but brings me to my concerns about the quarterback Salter. He's either a big play, but the simple little plays is what caused us to really lose this game. There's a couple of throws he didn't make that was tough, but DJ McKinney comes up with the interception. Haynes was pressured again. He was under an immense amount of pressure for number 49, forced to make an ill throw. DJ McKinney steps in there, scoops it up. That's our second turnover in the first quarter. But on those drives, our defense did their thing in the first quarter. Can't even cap. They were doing their dance, forcing turnovers, but our offense just couldn't put nothing together. You get 3 turnovers in the first quarter and you only come away with 7 points. You just let Georgia Tech know we good, bro. Don't even trip. Their offense ain't moving the ball. We can still stay to it. Don't panic. We turned the ball over 3 times and Colorado wasn't able to put nothing on the board. My bad. And then after that, Haynes King. The guy you knew for 9 months you had to scheme for and you had to wait for went ham. And we knew, man, check these numbers out from Haynes King versus Colorado. 143 passing yards through the air, 156 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. And Georgia Tech lost possibly their best receiver in the first quarter. He went down, number 8. Singleton, or whatever his name is, went down with an injury. So Rivers wasn't even involved again. It was literally Haynes King and Jamal King that went. They ran for over 320 yards on us, bruh. Literally the Haynes King show in Boulder. Put a statue of Haynes King in Boulder. basically. Now, Caden Salter, like I said, he made some highlight plays, but I just don't think that this type of play at quarterback is going to win us games. This is no shade to Caden Salter, but it's hard shoes to fill with Shedeur Sanders. But I promise you, we have that offense from last year. We beat the brakes off of Georgia Tech, or we at least get into a more of an offensive show. But nothing looked comfortable. This was his second run of the day. Very mobile quarterback. He can make plays with his legs, but there was times he should have made plays with his legs when he didn't, and he decided to throw the ball. This is not me coming down on Caden Salter. This is just me watching the film, and after I watched the game, Haynes King, these runs matter. They were for touchdowns. They took the life out of the defense. Those are the type of runs I was looking for Caden Salter to make versus Georgia Tech. Those long runs that would put us back in the game, but he never seemed to break one loose. And this is just a game where I definitely have some questions. I definitely feel like we need to come out with a completely new offense for the next game. I want to give Juju a run. I want to start Quentin Gibson. I want to get Joseph Williams in there. Farrakhan. I'm really okay with rolling out a completely new offense for our next game. Drop a comment. Let me know how you felt about this game, man. Colorado completely